Hi, Mike German from Visual Animation. Welcome to the first in a series of videos that I'm going to be doing throughout the month of January. So welcome to the new year 2023. Hope you had a good one. And so this course is going to be looking at the best of the new simulation effects that came out in the 2023 edition. I've got the 2023.1.3, I think it is now. That includes pyro. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at cloth and balloon and pyro and rope and all that good stuff, all the good simulations. And I'm going to be putting a few videos together throughout the month of January that will really focus on the power of Cinema 4D simulation system. So what I've got today for you is this. I'll just run this and then we'll probably build this scene completely from scratch. I'm just showing you what happens here. Look, we've got 3 spheres that are on this plane with a collider, and they've got cloth tags on them. And basically what they do is they will blob and merge into each other, including the color as well. So the color is going to merge, as well as the shapes are going to merge into like a slime blob made up of these colors. Then if I do a quick render here, that you'll see that we're actually getting that color come through as well, so we can render this out. So let me just delete all of this. It might be easier to start from scratch. So we'll get rid of all of that, start with a new screen, new page, new year, new everything. Okay. Oh dear. Right, here we go. So we're going to start off with, let's start off with a sphere. Lift that up, and now let's start off, let's also add a cube, and this is going to be our platform really, where they're going to slide down. So we just want to make some kind of shape like that. Don't worry too much about this, and then just tilt it. So that's kind of what the scene is. So the sphere will go over there, so it will drop down. Let's make 3 of those, and we can vary them in size. I think that's what I did on my example. Just had 3 of these, but just offset some of them, shrink them a little. The other thing I'm going to do as well is just highlight them all, and let's change the type here to a hexahedron, and let's display go out shading line, so you can see that's pretty good. I quite like using that shape. And also let's just increase those up a little bit. We don't want loads of complex geometry on these, so it runs a little bit quicker and it looks absolutely fine. So let's just have a look at, right, so we're going to let's increase that one, put it over there, and let's get these in order. So we've got them starting from the top, going down and then going across there, and let's just move them so they'll just kind of random, maybe move this one forward, maybe that one back, that kind of thing. Right, so they're all slightly staggered, and they'll all drop and merge into each other at these different locations. Right, so what we do then is we need to add the new cloth tag to these spheres. So let's just go ahead. Let's select each one. Sorry, let's group all the 3 together, and then right click and let's add simulation tag cloth. Now, because these will squidge down and they'll squash into each other a bit like a slime effect, we want to have, you know, fair good bit of bendiness on there. So let's say about 50, and let's try 50 on the stretchiness as well, because we want this material to merge and stretch and do all that good stuff. So we'll do that. Let's just see what else we need to do. Whether we need to add maybe a bit of some of the soft body here as well. But we'll play around with these in a second. The other thing we need to do here, let's just call that floor. And I'm going to add the collider tag to that. So it's a simulation tag here and collider. Now we're only interested in the front, which is the front plane. If we say both, they can interact and go through the geometry and start to interact with the other side. So if you're wanting these to fall onto a surface, it's best to stay with the collider side front, and then it won't penetrate through the geometry so much at all. We will be playing with the stickiness as well in a minute to make all these pieces stick. Right, so let's just have a look at what we've got so far without doing any other changes. Let's just drop these down onto this platform. Just press play, and then here they go. Look. Now at the moment they just roll down, they deform a little bit, and they roll off the edge, and they're not doing anything. They're not sticking together, are they? They're not doing any of that. So if we select all of those now, all of the cloth tags, and we go to surface, we've got stickiness there. So let's put in, let's try 5, and let's run that again with 5 on the stickiness, and now you're seeing that they are. Yeah, they're definitely more sticky. Okay, they're stuck together as they go down the slope. But what they're not doing, obviously, is they're not merging together. They're not merged into a shape. They're independent still. Independent bits of geometry just falling and sticking. So how do we get these two to merge, and ultimately their colours to merge as well? So we introduce the volume builder, okay, and the volume mesher. They seem to work hand in hand, these things. We have the mesher and the builder. We put the builder under the mesher as a child, and then now I think for this, because we're going to be working with colour, I think we could get some issues with the way, but let's just put them in there for now. So what we do is we put the spheres under the volume builder, okay. So now what's going to happen is if we run that simulation now, as you can see, they are now meshing, their volume meshing together. Okay, now we can smooth all this kind of stuff out as well. If we go to the builder, we've got a smoother here, and we can add a smoother. You see that we don't want that much smooth on it. We want somewhere between it looking a little bit jagged, and then it just smoothing out this section here. Because if we take that down, look, it looks a bit jagged there, and if we move across too much, it gets too smooth. So we go somewhere in between. We've also got this new feature in 2023.1. I don't know if it's 20.1 or just the 2023, but we've got this radius now on the volume builder. So if we increase the radius, look, you'll see this also helps to smooth. It's like adding a radius curve between them. So you can play around with the radius as well, just to smooth these sections across. So if we just replay that now, look, as you see, as they drop, they're just nicely kind of blobbing and becoming one shape. Now if I just do a quick screenshot of that, it's not very interesting at the moment, okay, because it's all one colour. So how do we get the colour to do what it does? Now if I put for example, if I was to make, let's just clear those materials out that I've just been using, and let's just say let's have a red, and we say, right, but let's have one of these spheres red. Now as we put it on the sphere, look, you'll see that nothing changes, because these are in a volume builder and a volume mesher, so this colour would have to go on the mesher, and then they're all red. Okay, so we're not getting individual colours like we had in my example, so we need 3 different colour spheres here to get that effect of them merging and blending their colours together. So how do we achieve that? Right, let me show how it's done. What we do is we right click on Mesher, and we go to other tags, and we go to Vertex Color, okay, and it goes black. When we've got Vertex Color, we then need to drag, and this is where I said this is probably not going to work. Now I'll show you this go wrong, and then we'll make it actually work. So what we need to do, we need to drag these spheres into the field here of the Vertex Color tag. Okay, so we drag those 3, select those 3 and drag them into here, right? So now that they've all got a colour added to them. Now they need to have a different colour, because there's no point them all being the same. So we'll have a look at sphere 2 at the top here, and then we go to a color remap, and then let's put in a nice kind of, I don't know, I like a nice slime color. There it is. So the top one is slime. Let's go to the second one along, and let's choose some really vivid kind of purple. There we go. And then for the third one, let's go for like a really bright orange. Okay, so we've got those 3 colors. Now let me just show you what happens at this point. Now they're colored, and if I just press play, you see what's happening? It's not looking at these, it's not calculating them correctly. They need to be connected together. Okay, so under here, look, there is a connect object. It's connecting these objects together so it will keep the color on them. I don't know if there's another explanation here on how this actually works, but I found that this is a really great like workaround for this issue. So we have a connect object, and then we put the sphere in the connect object, and then we add that connect object under the volume builder. Now we need to do that to the other 2 spheres, so we'll have another connect, and then we'll put a sphere in there underneath as a child, and then we'll add that under the volume builder, and then we'll have another connect for the final sphere that we need to put under there, and then we'll drag that under the volume builder as well. Okay, so we've now got 3 connect objects with the spheres. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking. I will probably have to go and see to him in a minute and then start the video again to see if he settles down. Right, so what we need to do though, we've got volume builder and we've got the connect objects in here. Now that's updated that's good. Okay, but the smooth needs to go back up to the top. Now let's have a look at adding, let's have a look at the color. Have we got the color? Right, let's click on color, let's go back and play again. Right, that's not work because we need to, no, I don't know where I was looking, but we need to delete those spheres from the Vertex Color tag, and we need to add and now we need to add these connect objects back into the Vertex Color tag. Right, so now let's have a look at each one of these. Now the colors have changed slightly, haven't they? So let's put back this nice vivid color on there. Let's go to the next one down, and let's go for this kind of vivid one, and let's go down here. Sorry, let's go to there. Oh, I'm clicking in the wrong place for you, I'm really sorry. And then here we're going to go for the orange. I hope that made sense. Right, what you need to do is you need to click on this color, Vertex Color tag, and then the connect objects in there, which are these, they get dropped in, and then each one you apply the color that you want that sphere to be. Okay, but they need to be these connect objects, not the spheres, but the connected bits. You drop those in. Okay, and then we add the colors under color remap. Then you will get your 3 colored spheres, and then if we press play, you see they're stuck. The color is now stuck to the spheres properly, the color remap. So if we let that go, look, these are now, if I go in close, you'll see they're now merging into each other, just here, and the colors are spreading out. Now, if we want those colors to merge even more, because at the moment they're kind of staying in their own areas, aren't they? You know, so say you wanted the green to bleed in and you wanted the purple to bleed back in, so you had a nicer kind of gradient between the two. What we do is we copy this Vertex Color tag, we delete these connects out, and then we put the original color tag in. And now let me just rename this to color 2. So we've got the original one and we've got the color 2. Right, what the color 2 is going to do, if we go to the fields here, if we click on that, we can change the mode to average. Now, if we move this around, look, we can blur these colors. Okay, you get a much nicer transition between there than if it was down here like we had before. Look. Okay, so we've got the opportunity just to blend that nicely by using two Vertex Color Maps. Okay, so now if we play again, let's go back to the beginning, zoom out so you can see we've got 3 different color balls. We press play. As they drop, they merge into each other. They've got a certain amount of stickiness on them, so they will travel slowly down this declined ramp until they get to the bottom, and they'll drop off the end. Now we can probably play around with this, and we can change this around, and we can get maybe we can get them to stick into each other a little bit more than that and blend together. Let's just try moving these about a little bit more. Now this is totally up to you the way you have these, but just random is quite nice. But as they drop, we need them to like all blob into kind of this kind of mass. And to change the way that they move around, it's down to what bendiness and stretchiness and stickiness they have on them. Okay, so if we look at the soft body here, that we've got these poles here. So let's try, if we take off soft body and then we add, say, a little bit of balloon instead. Let's see what we get now. Right, let's just go back and select the vertex color so you can see it working. Okay, that might be better. That's a lot blobbier, isn't it, than having the soft body with the poles, because they were kind of creating more of a rigid shape. So we've now got something that's a lot softer. Let me just try taking off the balloon and seeing what we get. I think it'll be too soft at this point. Yeah. Yeah, it's all just disappearing there. There's no structure at all. Yeah, so they do need to have an amount of structure. So I think having the balloon on there, let's just click back on the color tag so you can see that. Yeah, that's probably not too bad. Let's just see if they're actually going to move. Maybe there's a little bit too much. So we've got no stickiness on there, but we've got a fair bit on here. We've got 5, so let's bring that down to 1. Let's take the bendiness down to say 5 for now, and just have a look at what that does. Let's select the color tag again so you can see the colors. And let's just see if we can get these to, now if they don't slide, obviously we can increase the decline on this slope. We can take the friction off. But they are, yeah, they're starting to move nicely there. They're just rolling, they're merged at certain points. Let's have a look what we could do to get them to kind of blob in a bit better. Right, let's have a look at the builder for a minute. Let's have a look at the builder and have a look at the smoothing here. Yeah, so if we have a look at smooth, I mean, we can increase the smooth a bit, and we can also add a little bit of radius here like we had before. So let's just try this. We just want these to just kind of stick and blob together a little bit more. Right, let's just stop that, because we need to select the color tag each time just so you can see how the colors are merging at this stage. That's not bad. Now you can play with this and you can adjust the bendiness, stretchiness, the stickiness, and you can decide how much overpressure in the balloon or not use balloon and use soft body. So you can just play around with these types to get the kind of look you want. You might want it to be more balloon-like, you might want it to be more soft, you know, it's completely up to you. This is really just showing you how you can merge these objects together. More importantly, how we can get it to actually render with this color on. Because if I render it now, it's still white. Okay, there's no color on here, even though we see it in the preview. There's no actual color coming through. So how do we get this vertex color map here to actually render with these colors? Now, the answer is to let's just delete that red out there. Let's just select a new material. And what we do is we go here to texture and scroll that down, and we go to effects, and then we go to vertex map. Okay, so we've got vertex map here, and then we click on vertex map, and now it's asking for a vertex map to be added. So we go to our volume mesher here, look, with the vertex map, the first one, and we drag that in to there. And now, if we render, still nothing. That's because we need to add this material to our volume mesher. Okay, we just drag it on to there. All right, you can see that change happening here. So now if we do a render, there's our color. Now obviously we've got these horrible meshed things going on here. Now I think that is to do with, let's go to the color tag, let's go to these connects, and let's go to layer, and let's go to surface. And if we, I think that corrected it, didn't it? Yeah, I think it lost those straight away. So if we go to each one and go to surface, we then get the color to not be in point mode, but it smooths it out across the surface. So we need to click on there and then click on surface. So now if we go and render, there we go, we've got these nice colors. Now, like I said before, we've got this blur, this blending mode on the second color tag here. That we need to, let's just make sure we've got the average, and then we can blur this out much more than what we had. And these colors, let's just see if we can get, let me just see if let's just think, on the vertex map, let's try adding the second vertex map here. Let's see what we get if we add the second vertex map. I'm just seeing if that's the one to add. Let's see how these blur in. They're kind of blurring into one color here, aren't they? I don't know. Let's just try and adjust so we don't have so much. Let's go down to 90. Let's just push that a little out. Just above 100. Let's just try that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So what you need to do is on the material and the vertex map there, we need to add vertex color 2, because that was the one where we made the blend adjustment, didn't we? You know, when we added this average and we blurred between the two. Yeah, we need to add the vertex color 2 to the vertex map here. Okay, make sure 2 goes in there, not the first one, and then you will get these nice blends between them. Okay, so let's just run that again and see how these now blur into each other. Okay, nice blobbing into each other there nicely. And if we do take a quick render of that, I think you'll agree we've got this really nice kind of graded color throughout, and you can increase that, you can dial this up and down. It's all procedural. There's no edited files here. Everything's adjustable. It works almost as you play it. You can adjust this and see what we get. This is really, really nice. Now, the other thing you can do with the color on this vertex map is we can add reflectance in here, like a Beckman. Let's just see what that does like that. If not, we might have to add, yeah, you've got some shine here. You can add a vertex map to any part of this. You know, the reflection channel, the color channel, the luminance channel. You can add a vertex map into there, as you can see, and then we can just drag our one into it and it will update. And you see it's nicer like that, you see, because it's looking at the colors and it's adding those into the reflection. So have a play around with this. It really is a nice effect. But just remember all those steps. Make sure that you create a material with the vertex color, and then add that to the mesher, and then you'll be able to render this out. So yeah, I hope that's I don't want this to go on and on. There's loads and loads more of these I'm going to be adding in during the month of Jan, using all of the simulation effects. So I hope you enjoyed that one. My name is Mike German from Visual Animation. Take care and goodbye for now.